All right, everybody. I don't know if you know this about me, but I am actually a stand-up comedian. That is my number one job when I'm not interrupting people on this podcast. Please come see me perform. Go to WhitneyCummings.com. I am coming to the Beacon Theater, New York. I'm coming to the Chicago Theater in, where is it? Chicago. I'm coming to Atlantic City, North and South Carolina, Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be at Atlanta at the Center Stage. I'm coming all over this wonderful country of ours. Come see me celebrate America before it disappears in November. Oh, and I have so many special guests on this tour. At the Beacon show in a couple weeks in New York City, Grace O'Malley from the Plan Brie podcast is going to be there. Ian Fidance is going to be there. Bethany Frankel is going to be there. Grace O'Malley is going to be coming with me to a bunch of other dates. Check the website, you guys. There's just nonstop surprises. And yes, at the end of every show, I do meet and greets because I like spreading the flu and whatever is still happening with COVID. And if you need to put that in quotes, I don't blame you.
We can cut all this silence, right?
I think people would love it. Honestly, tuning into my podcast, hearing silence is kind of like, I don't know. This feels like a very special episode where I want people to know that I'm capable of shutting my goddamn mouth.
Praise Jesus. She is quiet.
Bap, bap, bap. This is already my favorite episode because our guest is going to let me do all the talking.
No, I'm not.
Ahren, you know him from Kill Tony from America's Got Talent. Thank you for coming, Ahren. I've already put him through a couple physical challenges. I don't know if I trust his diagnosis. Like, I don't know. A lot of people are faking things these days. People fake illnesses. They fake Lyme disease. You know, everyone's like got, you know, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome when their movie's tanking, all of a sudden they come out with a new fake disease. And I just want to make sure that your palsy was real. So made him walk from my gate.
Yeah, the obstacle course and the mile uphill hike in the heat wave was a little much.
And then I had him go up a flight of stairs, and I think I'm sold. I think I'm sold on this palsy thing. I don't think it's a bit.
And spiral stairs, so it is even harder.
Yes. Yes, look, when you think Whitney Cummings, what do you think? You think spiral. Okay, of course my staircase is going to be a spiral staircase. It's called being on brand. We met at Kill Tony, right? I think that the last time I did Kill Tony, or 2 times ago that I did Kill Tony, you were on it, and you totally blew my mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love watching you crack yourself up before you write out what you're gonna say. It's like me when I know a joke's coming and I like get so excited about it that I like flub it.
The funniest part of that appearance is I interrupted you halfway through a joke.
You did?
You laughed.
You know what? Someone needs to interrupt me. You sent me a really nice text message earlier and I couldn't really process it. Why are you being so nice to me? It's making me suspicious.
Do you want me to call you a whore instead or something? I can do that.
That would be more familiar to me. I mean, that's the only way I know how to receive love.
Something I admire about you. As ironic as it is, I find comedy to be kind of a low vibe industry. There's a lot of ego, a lot of pressure, both pressure we put on ourselves and external pressure. And for most of my life, I've been a depressed and toxic prick. And like I say that, but I don't have shame about it anymore because I did a lot of work on myself to figure out how to be grateful for my life and be a better person. But let's be honest, comedy makes all that harder. And I feel like from the minute I met you, you just exude kindness and you're playful, but you still come to the dark side of comedy and you do it all the same way I tried to do it. And I'm sure it isn't always easy for you. It's hard for me, but like, I met you and you were encouraging and funny, and I've only ever heard good stories about you, and it's hard to be that way. That inspires me to keep trying to be my best.
I mean, I'm not going to cry, mostly because I'm dehydrated. I do love, though, like, how positive you are. And I didn't know about, you know, that you used to be a toxic prick and you used to be negative and great. Like, what did you do to get to such a positive place?
Therapy and years of like CBT and reframing thoughts.
Cognitive behavioral therapy. I know what this is.
Cognitive behavioral therapy?
Wait, can you explain what that is? Or how about what's your interpretation
No,
of it?
I'm not a psychiatrist. Please hold while I Google.
That is so funny. That's the perfect song for that. It's a type of psychotherapy helps people deal with mental health issues by changing their thinking and behavior. CBT is a combination of cognitive and behavioral therapy. It's based on scientific research. Okay, well, you guys know how I feel about scientific research, but it sounds lovely.
CBT is like when you do work to cognitively train thoughts, and like when you have negative or inaccurate thinking and you change like false ways of thinking.
Pass. Not interested. No thanks. If it was gonna happen, it would have happened. I like this, like negative, like self-limiting beliefs, or like I'm such an idiot, or I'm never gonna find love, or I'm just listing facts. But it's never gonna happen for me. I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna be happy. And then you like pick a different thought to replace it with, kind of thing.
So one of my limiting beliefs was like nobody would ever love me. So I would go through all the ways people actually do already love me.
I could try to do that. No. Just looked at my YouTube comments. I got nothing.
Gratitude is also a really powerful tool.
Can you explain it to me? How does it work? I'm kidding. So you're going to cognitive behavioral therapy. How before this did you manifest like your toxic prickness? I kind of selfishly want to meet the toxic prick. Like, how did it look?
I would just insult everyone, and I was angry. And like anyone did anything, I would take it super personally. So like you'd cancel plans and I would be like, you bitch, you don't even like me. And you're like, my dad died.
You, bitch. This is so wild, dude. I love the idea of like someone canceling plans on you and waiting for your response to type it in. And it's like, I'm thinking you're just gonna go, oh, no problem. And it's like, you, bitch. It's like, Jesus. And then, so when did you kind of go like, okay, I'm angry. I call people a bitch. Like, I should be a comedian. I mean, you're kind of made in a lab to do what we do.
2018, I was super mad. So I went to therapy and I'm like, can you make me less mad?
Can you make me less mad? Whoo. Didn't even occur to me to ask that to anyone. I go to a therapist and I'm like, I just thought of 5 more things I need to be mad about. Your office, the parking situation here, how much this costs. You stop at 50 minutes, really?
Yeah, I paid for an hour, you bitch. Give me $100 back.
I mean, I do think that's also a part of it. Like, as soon as you go to therapy, I feel like there's so many little tests they're already giving you. Like, when you like go to the waiting room, there's like a little Zen garden of sand. There's like a Rubik's Cube. And I know it's like a test. I feel like it's always a test. But I'm always the person who goes in, and if the Zen garden sand is a mess, I like rake it up and try to like make it nice again. And I'm like, I feel like I just got all the self-awareness I needed just from that. Like, I don't even know if I need to talk to this person. It's so wild. I'm looking at this Instagram post of you talking about this, and you're talking about your emotional growth, and you're saying, before I was a happy comedian, I was a depressed victim. I was traumatized as a kid, traumatized by my own actions as a kid, by my disability. The world was out to get me. So because of all my shame and my anger and bitterness, I would lash out and behave in ways that would perpetuate a lack of self-love, shame, and insecurities in me. I think the biggest change for me was beginning to work through it, being vulnerable about my traumas, learning to accept myself as I was. And then you say, at the start, I had so many faults. What a crazy thing to be in your situation and to be like, I have faults. I don't think I could do that.
I caused all my own problems.
Really? You did? How? I don't buy it. I'm just going to undo all your growth. I'm like, no, the world owes you a lot. You are a victim. Everyone's an asshole. People are out to get you, they've told me. Because that's the thing, is I feel like you get emotionally healthy and then you start getting successful as a comedian, and all the things that used to be paranoias start to become facts. So it's like, no one was out to get you before, but now you're like killing it on Kill Tony. You're
Hollywood, baby.
And now they are kind of out to get you, and people don't want you to succeed. And that's what gets tricky, is like, I worked so hard in my like 20s to be like, I need to learn how to trust people. People aren't out to get me. Like, and then I like healed all that. And then you get successful and you're like, wait, now I can't trust anybody. Like, for real.
That's so true.
Like I need to go back to being broken so that I could survive being successful, because all those things that were paranoias are now, just like a healthy way to navigate. So it's like tricky. And then the more successful you get, the more competitive it gets, the weirder it gets. Relationships that you think are real end up being fake, and
I admired you because I thought you were navigating particularly that really well, but apparently not.
No. I think I hide it well. No, I try to. I think it's just, it's like in this business, I think it's taken me a long time to realize, like, that I was trying to get emotional needs met from comedy, and specifically trying to find like a family. Like I never had a stable family life. And I was like, when I was hiring managers, it was like daddy, daddy, mommy, mommy. And then, friends in comedy was like, we're chosen sisters. We're chosen, I was like trying to find a family. And then you're like, oh, we are kind of coworkers.
I think for me, I do comedy because I always wanted to be heard and understood. So like me, comedy is all like, listen to this bullshit and learn that it's stupid, to educate people through laughter.
I love that. And so like, what point did this come together? Because there must have been a point in your life where you didn't have a phone to be able to communicate.
Before a phone, I used sign language.
That's intense. Because you can only communicate with people that know sign language.
Most people don't know.
Yeah.
Even I don't know anymore.
Oh, you forgot sign language? Does sign language change the way like language changes? Like it used to be like, he's a real snake in the grass. Now it's like, he's an asshole. Like, does sign language evolve the same way language evolves?
You're asking the wrong guy?
But I need to know that, are there like outdated signs? Like, is there a sign that is like the equivalent to like cool beans? Don't know. You were using sign language and then the phone comes along. Like, what is the next step? Like, is AI gonna...
Elon Musk is gonna put a chippy poo in my brain.
A chippy poo. What if there's a world where AI makes it where you can speak and I can shut the up? That will be a miracle.
That would be ideal.
What comedians did you look up to, like when you first discovered comedy?
Bill Burr and Taylor Tomlinson. But I didn't really ever watch comedy until I started.
You didn't watch it until you started. Do you like watch movies growing up? Did you have like a comedic inspiration?
I got in by accident.
You got into comedy by accident?
I was heckling comics and they said, come to the open mic.
No way. In Austin?
Portugal.
Was that a typo in your machine over there? Do you have a Samsung? What do you mean, Portugal?
I started comedy in Portugal.
Check the machine. It's broke. Your machine's broken. What do you mean you started comedy in Portugal? What does that even... I don't even know what to say to you.
I was there for the winter.
Okay. So Portugal, if I could just like I don't understand it. Why Portugal? Like, why not? Like, Portugal has this giant wave. This is the whole thing with Portugal now, is like surfers go there to like surf the giant Portugal waves. Have you seen these?
I don't surf.
Yeah, no one surfs.
I drown.
Dogs can surf. You could do it.
Dude, I barely got up your fucking hill.
Barely, dude. I see you bobbing over the hill. I'm just like, no. So I watched this thing. It's called like the 100-Foot Wave or something. It's like a 4-part series on HBO about this surfer that wants to surf a wave in Portugal. Look at these waves, okay? The entire documentary is just about a man who wants to go wee. And I have to watch him like getting ready, and he's wrapping his ankle and he's practicing and he's got his board and it's like life or death. And I'm like, you're going to war? What is he doing? He's going to save kids that are being trafficked? No, just wants to go wee down a wave. Why are we making movies about men that want to like go wee?
Men do love going wee.
Are you guys okay? You're 42. Like, in what world is this so important to you? And I'm like watching it and I'm kind of on the edge of my seat, but in my brain, I'm like, he like stops a school shooting at the end of this, right? Like, there's some reason that I have to watch this man. I mean, his family is like being torn apart. He might die in this wave. I mean, it's just like there's jet skis and Sea-Doos that all got to get around him so that he can go wee. And I'm like, what is this for? He doesn't even get like a Red Bull partnership at the end. It's like, for what? If men don't live their dream, we got to make sure. It's like Hitler wanted to be a painter and no one would let him, so he had to do that. You know, it's like if men have a dream, you have to let them do it. If a man wants to surf a wave and we don't film him, and celebrate it and support him, like there's no telling what he'll do next. So that's my take on Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to come on the podcast? I'm like, I have to say yes. And if I don't, he'll shoot up a post office.
I can't do guns. I don't have citizenship yet.
Oh, I mean, does anyone in this country have citizenship yet? I mean, I feel like. Okay, so you lived in Portugal. What were the any hot chicks in Portugal?
Some.
What kind of girl are you in the market for?
I like cute girls, shorter, not obese, showers time to time,
Not obese.
cleans her vagina.
Okay, you know what? That is like should go without saying, but I am learning that more and more women, men, of course, but mostly white women, they don't actually clean their vagina. I know you're joking, but they just let the soap rinse over it. That's not cleaning. Cleans her vagina. You'd be surprised. I know lots of girls who don't.
I've been with a bunch of girls, and I thought just vaginas all smelled bad. Then I slept with a clean girl, and I'm like, oh. Maybe they aren't all pungent.
Pungent. Okay, now look, here's what I will say. Dicks and balls aren't like, winning any prizes for your odors. I mean, to be fair, we have an open wound that is.
Yeah, but you need to wash your balls too.
It's true. Guys need to wash their balls. Also, like, here's the thing. I don't even think dicks are dirty. I think your hands are dirty and you're constantly putting your hand on your dick. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong?
This is true.
Okay, thank you. This is my whole theory. You should wash your hands before you go to the bathroom.
I have my hands on my balls right now.
You're cupping your balls just by nature. But I do believe that you guys should wash your hands, then go to the bathroom, put a clean hand on your dick. You can wash them after too. That would be ideal. But why do you run around with your dirty hands and then you touch your dick a bunch of times a day?
Most of the scent come from sweat.
On your dick. But what's that? From your butt? The butt's the real problem, huh? That's the real problem. Do you think sometimes, the girls that you've hung out with and hooked up with, like, was it like this person needs like medical help, or like this is just a little like musty?
It was like the equivalent of smelly balls, I think.
So what's going on? I feel like you're getting that Kill Tony bump out there in the streets, huh? Girls, Austin girls? Austin girls are very specific. It's like we're doing cowboy boots and mini skirts. We're like, woo, a lot of woos, right? They love comedy and cirrhosis, like hot drunks. I love a like drunk. Like girls now, it's like I'm microdosing. This is medicinal marijuana. I like it just like Jaeger, like a Jaeger bitch in like a tutu and like a bathing suit. Like you're like, huh? Like what was your plan for the day? Like how did we get here? I mean, the girls in Austin are not messing around. They're like early 90s Lake Havasu vibes.
I don't really go for crazy horse, so comedy doesn't really help. I want to fall in love and all that gay shit, not have another crazy bitch poke holes in my condoms.
So do you think you've ever been like in love or yeah? How did you know?
I liked her when my penis was soft.
A plus. A plus. Love is when you like her, when your penis is soft. Not when you love her, when your penis is soft. I respect that. Have you ever watched those energy drink commercials with people doing these like extreme sports and you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't need to hella rock climb or hella skateboard off a cliff. Okay, that's not, but I do need energy. Okay, so if you're anything like me, you're not looking for a drink that gives you the energy to like, wrestle a bear, or you just want to get through your day. That's why I choose Aspire
energy drinks. Aspire Energy is the healthiest energy drink with half the caffeine of traditional energy drinks, sourced from premium green tea. It's all about refreshingly unextreme energy, because sometimes half the energy is kind of all you need, whether you're running errands or hitting the gym for a light workout or just trying to stay awake through your boring meeting. Aspire gives you that perfect boost without the jitters or the crash. Aspire Energy has a light, crisp taste with a sparkling finish and comes in delicious flavors like strawberry watermelon, mango lemonade, and mixed berry. The best part is it has zero sugar, 0 calories, and won't keep you up at night overthinking about all the embarrassing things you've ever done in your life. Well, speak for yourself. Aspire is perfect for life's unextreme activities, whether you're grocery shopping, doing your taxes, folding laundry, or you're just in a catatonic stupor. That's fine too. Aspire is the perfect drink for anyone who, like me, is simply aspiring to get through the day. I am obsessed with Aspire Energy drink. You know me, I kind of fluctuate between manic and super hyper and in a catatonic state of exhaustion. So Aspire is perfect for me because I just want to be kind of in the middle. I just want the right amount of energy to keep me focused, keep me working without making me all jittery and hopped up. Use code 15Whitney for 15% off your first purchase on Amazon, or go to Aspire, A-S-P-I-R-E, drinks.com to find Aspire Energy at a store near you. That's code 15Whitney for 15% off your first order. Okay, so y'all know me. I may not have a cat myself, but I'm going to. Miranda Cosgrove and Hannah Stocking have sold me on cats, okay? I've always been a dog person, more just because I need that unconditional love, and cats' love is conditional, and I simply I have a very hard time earning their love, their attention. I feel rejected. I feel abandoned. Cats are triggering if you're an insecure person, but now I'm really entertaining the idea of cat. I like the bald ones. The bald ones have big personalities. I'm into it. So I don't have a cat currently, but all my friends and listeners have talked about the struggle of finding the right food for their cat. One of my friends used to complain nonstop about how her cat food, it stinks up your whole house. I think this is part of the reason that I haven't wanted a cat. Feeding time is always a chore. That is until my friend switched to Smalls. I went to her house and it no longer smells like a pet store. Smalls cat food is protein-packed, made with preservative-free ingredients that you would find in your own fridge and deliver right to your door. It's time to make kibble a thing of the past because it's gross. Smalls is all about real food for real cats with recipes that prioritize quality over filler. That's why veterinarians.org rates Smalls 10 out of 10 for ingredient quality. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys who began home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. Fast forward to today, and Smalls has served millions of meals to cats across the U.S. One of the things that my friend loves the most about Smalls is how much healthier her cat seems, more energy, shinier coat. She's even noticed that her cat's overall mood is improving. Improving a cat's mood, that's a miracle. 88% of all cat owners reported overall health improvements in their cats after they fed them Smalls. So if you're feeding your cat kibble, consider this. Cats descended from ferocious desert cats who hunted live prey. They still need fresh, protein-packed meals to be at their best. Other cat food brands might fill their products with mystery meat, artificial flavoring, preservatives, trash, not Smalls. The team at Smalls is so confident that your cat will love their food that you can try it risk-free. That means that they will refund you if your cat won't eat their food. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/Whitney and use promo code Whitney at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you will find. And you got to use my code Whitney for 50% off your first order. I have an ant on my hand. Is that?
Oh, name it.
Name it. Name it. Auntie Anne is what I'm naming this ant. But this is what happens when you have kibble all around your house, is you get ants, you get rats. It's disgusting, okay? That's why we need to switch to Smalls. Use my code Whitney for 50% off your first order. One last time, the promo code is Whitney, 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Meow.
Because it's kind of all about the hang, ultimately, right? Because sex, best case scenario is, 5-10 minutes a day?
I can last at least 12 minutes.
It's impressive.
How do you find a real one?
Oh, this is very tough. I think I have a couple answers to this because I can only really speak for myself. I think number one, you stop looking so hard and stop chasing and just start attracting. Just be the person. Spend more time becoming the person that a real one would be into instead of trying to find a real one, but being a phony yourself. Become a real one and the other real ones will find you. naturally or be attracted to you kind of thing. Whereas I see, so many of my girlfriends like, I just want to date a guy who's like a real one, who's like a ride or die, who's like got his together. I'm like, but you don't have your together, but you're not a ride or die, but you're a mess. Like, why would you know what I mean? There's no good men out there. Like, yeah, there are. They're just with their good women, right? They're not at Coachella, like looking for a girl with like feather earrings, wearing a headdress. Cause it's also, you meet someone that's like 80% there and you're like, I can work with this, or like, I can change this person, which is like, it's like I used to always say, like, when you meet someone, like I didn't even understand that someone could like be everything that you wanted. And you'd meet someone and just be like, I love you. Now let's get to work. Okay. So you know what I mean? And then you try to change the person you want to be, but that's not fair to them either, because like that person that's 80% of what you want, there's probably someone out there that's 100 for them. It's just like the wrong match. So I think that like a tremendous amount of patience, and attraction, not promotion. Because a lot of times when we're trying to attract somebody, we're putting on like a fake, you know what I mean, sort of thing. And then you attract the wrong person.
Do you believe in law of attraction type stuff?
Ooh, I believe that if you expect something to happen, the chances are way higher that it will happen, because then you're acting as if it's like the same thing with like vitamins. Like, do vitamins work? I guess, but the kind of person who's going out to buy vitamins and taking them are probably doing other healthy things. So is it the vitamins, or is it just like the lifestyle and like the mentality? This is a person that very few people, I think, don't sleep, eat garbage, and then take vitamins, So I think like law of attraction, if you're engaging the law of attraction, you're probably doing a lot of other things that are manifesting the life that you want.
I spiritually believe in like you attract the stuff you believe, but also pragmatically you're taking the actions in alignment.
Totally. But sometimes you can try to attract something and then something bad happens to you and you're like, I didn't try to attract that. But sometimes I think it's just the universe like testing you or giving you an opportunity to grow, or it's just life is a series of problems. It's just about how you get better at solving them. So for me, like when negative things happen in my life, I'm like, I didn't attract this. I didn't manifest this. I didn't want this. And it's like, well, this isn't for you. It's just happening, in this moment. It's not happening to you. It's just happening. And you decide how much it's happening to you.
One of my favorite guided meditations is in YouTube called Everything is Happening to My Advantage. So like if I crash my car, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I missed the worst meeting of my life,
Yes. Or that crash stopped you from the crash that was going to hit a school bus. It's like rejection is God's protection is something that helps me too. But whenever something bad happens, it was always to protect you for something worse that could have happened, or to reroute you into a more positive direction. I totally believe that. It's hard. It's hard. But comedy also helps with that, because it's like every time something negative happens, you can sublimate it into a joke, which helps me really like make sense of the world. I remember like the first time I got a car, I had just gotten out of $40,000 debt. I had done like a campaign with Lexus. And so I got like a discount on like a Lexus hybrid. It was like the first car that I ever leased. It was like a new car. I had been driving these like Kias and like Sony Walkmans. I was like a mess. I was driving I had borrowed Jennifer Love Hewitt's car, and I almost perished many a time, because this was back when there was like paparazzi, like new celebrity license plates. So she like let me borrow her car, but paparazzi were like following me around. And so I had to be like, at first you're kind of like, oh, okay. Like MTV, like is a pretty big deal. And then you're like, I'm on the freeway. They're like cutting me off. I'm like, I'm not Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like it was like a nightmare. So I finally get this car. And I go to the gas station and I'm like filling up this new car, and I'm like, I'm going to get the best gas because I have like this new car and there's like 4 pumps or whatever. And there's one that's green. And I'm like, I have a hybrid. This is the green gas. This is like the eco-friendly gas.
Was it diesel?
It was diesel. So I filled up the car with diesel fuel, completely destroyed it. It cost me $8,000 to get it all fixed. I remember because it had to get towed in. And I remember the look on the faces of all the guys that worked at the dealership. And they were just like it hurt their heart to see this brand new car just totally destroyed from the inside. But I like wrote this like really long joke on it. And I was like, okay, like I can supplement everything negative into something positive. And like that alchemy is what's going to get me through life.
I used to be very like, everything hates me, God. But like, all that stuff got me here, and I'm doing great. So it's like, I am grateful for all that pain, and all this stuff really helps. And the book, The 4 Agreements, really help. Learning to not take things personally, and speak in alignment and stuff like that. And also Jennifer Love Hewitt is my childhood crush. You forgive me her number.
Let me ask you, when you say like a book that helped you, The 4 Agreements,
speaking in alignment. What is that?
The exact agreement it is talking about is be impeccable with your words. So it's like choosing the right things to say and speaking in alignment. So if you piss me off, do I really need to say F you? Not really. I cannot choose as how I feel, but I can choose how I speak. And I can speak in a way that supports the person I want to be.
Yeah, be impeccable with your words.
So can you? Just think before you move your mouth.
I'm not interested. No, thank you. That's my disability. I have something called Tourette's, and whatever comes to mind comes out. It's called being authentic. Isn't it funny that toxic people have decided that authenticity is their defense for being an asshole? It's like, well, I'm just being authentic. It's like, no, you're being a dick.
You're being authentically an asshole?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You're being authentically an asshole. It's like people just like use all these words now in order to justify their personalities instead of just changing like what sucks about them. Like people that are like, well, I have Asperger's. Like, okay. I know a lot of people with Asperger's that are lovely.
I hate people who use disability to justify shit. Dude, I walked up a mountain to be on your fucking podcast? Grow up and fix your shit.
When did you decide it's enough? Because you have every reason to pity yourself and feel sorry for yourself. And you really could have gone through life getting like a pass. You know, at what point were you like, I don't want to be this person anymore?
This was like 5 years ago. I had made really close friends. And then like one of them pulled away and I got toxic and lost those friends. And I've lost a lot of friends. And I'm like, I don't want to be this way anymore.
I would love to be friends with you. You seem like an amazing friend. You're great on text. You're very responsive.
A lot of people just end up ghosted me.
And you think it's because you were negative?
I was a negative little bitch.
And then so now what do you do when you have negative thoughts? Or have they just kind of gone to the background?
I have less of them, but I still have 20 years of practice being cynical as f. So I try to focus on gratitude and more positive and reframe thoughts.
I love how you're saying think positively, because the more successful you get and the more these like days happen that, you know, as people that didn't get to have the prom day or didn't get to be the quarterback or like all the things that we just kind of always want to be celebrated, you know? And you write a book, you spend a year on it, this like amazing project comes out, like there's going to be rain on your wedding day. There just will always. And I think that like a lot of us are looking for like that moment in the future to look forward to, or like that thing that's going to fix everything, that material thing, that celebration, that event, whatever, whether it's your wedding day, having your kid, having your book come out, getting that promotion, and then it happens and it's never what it looks like in the Kate Hudson movie. It's never what you think it's going to be in your brain. So my book comes out and I'm like, this is going to fix it. I'm like going to be an author. I'm going to be respected. I'm going to be proud of myself. I'm going to have self-esteem. I'm in hair and makeup at 5 a.m., about to go on the Today Show to promote my book, do a whole book launch week. And it was the day of the Vegas shooting. So everything was canceled. And it was just one of those things where you're like, okay, now what? And maybe it's like the universe or whatever trying to show me like you had too much riding on that going well.
It's f***ing hard in this industry to not be negative. One week I sell out a show, the next I'm losing money. And I'm not doing what I want, and I'm creatively not as good as I went to be as a f***ing mental challenge to like. It's full of disappointment, but you need to be grateful because like, this is amazing.
And with us, like, it's interesting because even when we pull it off, you can come off stage, even if you killed and the audience doesn't know the difference, the audience thinks it was a great show, you still go like, that was a B-.
People think I can't have a bad show with a phone. And I'm like, you're retarded. Half my act is my delivery. If I'm off, the show sucks.
And then what are the technical difficulties that you do deal with?
So many. In the AGT finals, their Bluetooth died and I needed to pull out my other phone and be like, my bad, I got a text. Kill Tony is hard because in a podcast, I can't use silence and I don't have the time to get my up B. And I have you write in a particular way in the text to speech. And there's so many things that make it hard. And comics are like, oh, you have it so easy. Eat my dick.
Only comics would say that. You have it so easy. Who? Name them. Name them.
I don't remember names of people who don't matter.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you feel like you have to sort of check yourself in terms of like any setbacks with negative thinking, like being entrenched with comedians, you know, because sometimes that can be contagious. Like I find myself like, you know, really trying to be positive and like, you know, focusing on gratitude and the right things. And then I'll like hang out with comics for 10 days and I'll just be like, sugar cookies? Really?
And then I'm like, why am I mad at I'm mad at everything.
I tried to separate comedy from my personal life. Like it's work, not friends for the most part, you know. Like I want to find a wife who has nothing to do with comedy.
Have you mostly dated women that are in comedy, out of comedy? No?
I'll never date a comic ever again.
Negative on female comedians? You think it's a bad idea to date female comics? Wow.
If I was gay, it would be the same.
What careers of girls that have you dated?
Waitresses. I dated a psychologist. I dated an engineer. Very diverse.
Wow. A psychologist? How did that go?
It was good for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Some psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists are nuts, though. Let's just be honest. Anyone that signs up to be like, I believe I can fix people. I go to therapy to learn that I can't fix people from people who try to fix people for a living and charge them.
Psychology is like comedy. We are all fucked.
Well, I'm just like, I'm literally in therapy and the therapist is like, you cannot change people. And I'm like, well, can you change me? I'm paying you to do that. You can't? Then why am I doing this? That's like going to a personal trainer and they're like, you can't build muscle. I'm like, well, I'm paying you to help me build muscle.
Therapy helps you change yourself.
Yeah. Dating a psychiatrist, though, that seems like a nightmare. That seems hard, scary.
That'll be $300.
Well, because it's also the kind of thing where it's like, you know, I'm not particularly funny when I'm not doing stand-up. Like, I just am not, you know, and I feel bad sometimes for my guy because I'm sort
Me
of,
either.
yeah, I'm kind of like, ugh, like, I bet other people are probably funnier to hang out with because they're not funny for a living. And sometimes when I feel like I'm trying to be entertaining, I'm like, this is normally I can't just, you know? So I bet with a psychiatrist or dating a therapist, just being like, I need to talk about this. She's like, that's what I do for a living. But it's like, you also need that in your relationship.
That's exactly what happened.
Whoa. She's like, I do this all day. And also, you have no problems. What do you have to complain about?
Ah,
So now that you're in comedy, who are your heroes? Like, who do you look to? Like, who inspires you?
I want my comedy to have like the angry, like sharpness of Bill Burr, like I'm not afraid to say all. Try me, but with like the introspective live stuff of Taylor Tomlinson.
Are there any areas in comedy that you feel like for some reason you can't touch? You know, I was like working on this joke about like, you know, being a single mom, you know, isn't that hard? It's only hard when his dad tries to help. And it's like, and it's not negative. It's just literally about like the way our brains are wired, but it always got like a,
I find it really hard to get deeper into the authentic stuff. My comedy is easiest when I'm just being an asshole. I get away with anything funny. But if it's not funny and I'm just being a dick, nobody's laughing. But that's comedy. The only way you can get canceled is by not being funny. Or not evolving, I guess.
That's a good point. I think that there have been very few jokes that have gotten people in trouble that were like great jokes.
Are you voting for the old retarded man or the younger retarded black woman?
I hate you. I hate your guts.
I've been called it 90,000 times. It's my fucking word.
But that's not because you have palsy. That's just because you're retarded. It's different.
You can't take it from me.
But like growing up, like everyone would do this thing with their hand. Like teachers would do it. Like it wasn't.
Me too.
Yeah. So like that.
Keep going.
I'm just saying, I'm happy to. Like, what's other stuff that we've done that's a savage?
We had slaves.
And mic drop. We had slaves. Thank you. Good night. Canada. Did Canada have slaves?
I think so.
Did Canada have slaves? Based on how perfectly
What a bad way to end a good podcast. Let's cut this.
Look, I'm a parent now. I know every time I say that, I'm as shocked as you are. I don't need to tell you how busy life gets as a parent, especially at dinner time. My baby is literally always hungry. I mean, such an ingrate. He wants food 5 minutes ago, all the time. And each time they have their own idea of like what they want to eat. Like something that he ate this morning that he loved, I try to give him again, and he just like throws it on the trash. By the time I've cooked something, they are completely over it. That's why I am so happy that Nurture Life exists. Nurture Life is a meal delivery service focused on helping busy parents easily feed their babies and kids from 10 months old to 10 years old. It is genius. They provide fresh meals and snacks. They're delicious, nutritious, fully cooked, so they're ready to serve in just 1 minute. Because guess what you shouldn't do? Cook with your baby on your hip, because grease spits. Learned that the hard way recently. With Nurture Life, my kid can enjoy a healthy, nutritionally balanced diet while still eating all of his favorites like mac and cheese, paschetti, meatballs, and so much more. What sets Nurture Life apart from other meal delivery services is that without a doubt, it is how amazing the food tastes and how healthy it is. Their meals are made fresh every week. They're not frozen. They're shipped directly to your door. My baby's obsessed with them. And it is good for adults too. I do eat it as well. My son, we really have to elbow each other over this Nurture Life. It is the top meal delivery service for babies and kids, and it's even allergy friendly. With school starting back up, Nurture Life saves you a lot of stress. Henry's favorite meal, it was like a chicken, oh, so good. It's like a chicken mac and cheese. He ate every bite, and then he slept like a baby, which sleeping like a baby, that actually means you stay up all night and scream and piss yourself, but like how people that don't have babies think babies sleep. It's very simple. You're just going to select from over 50 varieties of nutritious balanced meals on their weekly menu, from finger foods for babies and toddlers to full meals for older kids. Then Nurture Life does the cooking for you. Fresh meals delivered straight to your door in refrigerated packaging. This is feminism at its finest. I love Nurture Life because it takes all the stress and anxiety out of feeding my son. I don't have to scramble to make healthy meals anymore, worry about what's in it, worry about if I cooked it right, worry about if I dropped a cigarette butt in it, whatever it is. I am obsessed. It is about time that a flexible meal subscription existed for babies and kids. So head to nurturelife.com. Use code GOODFORYOU for 55% off your first order. 55% off. That's insane. Once again, nurturelife.com. Promo code GOODFORYOU for 55% off your first order. Do you guys ever wonder how much of your personal data is out there on the internet for just any old person to see? Well, it's way more than you think. Your name, your contact information, your social security number, home address, even details about your family members are being compiled by data brokers and sold online. As someone who exists publicly and shares my opinions online, I am hyper aware of the importance of safety and privacy. That's why I personally use Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal information from hundreds of data brokers. These brokers make a profit off your data, turning your private details into a commodity that anyone can buy. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, unwanted spam calls, you name it. But with Delete Me, you can take control of your data and keep your private life private as it should be. Here's how it works. You sign up, you provide Delete Me with the exact information you want deleted from the internet, and their experts take it from there. They send you regular personalized privacy reports showing what information they found, where they found it, and what they removed. Delete Me is genius. It's not just a one-time service. Delete Me is always working for you, constantly monitoring and removing the personal information that you don't want on the internet. It's been it's a godsend knowing that Delete Me is actively working to remove my personal data from these sites. I'm a big believer in taking proactive steps to protect my own privacy, and Delete Me has made that process so much easier. I leaked my own nude, so they couldn't help me with that, but they could help me with all the other stuff. The reports that they send me, they're clear, detailed, showing me exactly where my information was removed. It's very comforting to see the tangible results of their effort. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me right now. You can get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Whitney and use promo code Whitney at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Whitney and enter code Whitney at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Whitney, code Whitney.
We're going to take some questions for you guys, because I'm mostly asking him if it's okay to say the word in his presence. That's what we've done in most of the podcast. So what are your questions? Whitney, trim or bush? Okay, well, let's just get right into it, guys. I lasered in my 20s. I regret it. I'm freezing. I did go to a gyno like 6 or 7 years ago, and I'm always asking her what are you hearing? Like, what's going on in the gyno circuit? And she was like, a big thing is that men want pubes again. I guess not everyone's a pedophile. And so she's like, I've been asked to do plugs, like hair plugs, pubic hair plugs, because so many women lasered and regret it. I don't regret it. I've just got some Smithers hairs.
I have a small penis, so I grow a bush so it looks bigger.
That doesn't make it look bigger. I thought that makes it look small. Doesn't it make it look smaller? What's your dating life like? MILF Wave would like to know.
Pretty uneventful for the most part.
Your dating life is pretty uneventful? No, he's dated a psychiatrist and a comedian and a waitress. Where? What restaurant?
Boston Pizza.
Boston Pizza. Okay. Don't hate that. This dude is awesome. People love you.
Thank you.
Everyone's saying you're so funny. Ahren, how are the comics treating you?
Most of them are nice. Comedy is weird. Like anyone better than you is nice. Anyone worse than you is mean. And most people at your level is like, yeah, let's go.
What did you get at Buc-ee's? Have you been to Buc-ee's?
Why does everyone get so hard about a gas station?
Dude, Buc-ee's, it is a great question because I feel like I'm a Buc-ee's adult the same way a lot of people are a Disneyland adult. I'm not a Disneyland adult and I make fun of it. And then I behave at Buc-ee's like Disneyland adults behave.
Anytime anyone talks about Buc-ee's, they're literally rock fucking hard like.
It's because it is a wonder emporium, okay? At a time where you can buy whatever you want, whenever you want on the internet, you go there and you're like, I didn't even think to look for this. Is this a candy necklace cock ring? Yes, please. It's just like things that you're like, who even invented this? Like, who even thought of this? Like, and it's also got like a very corny cringe element to like, it's a lot of like home is where the heart is, like baby bib. It's a lot of like silly onesies and shit. I don't know. It's just kind of like the best store at the airport.
I'll check it out and get a candy cock ring.
Yeah, that's literally it. It's just got like stupid snow globes. I don't know. I'm a hoarder. Are you into conspiracy theories?
Most of them feel true these days.
What are some wild ones I've heard recently? Oh, that space is fake. Not even that we didn't land on the moon. It's just space is fake. I have got to get a new algorithm. By the way, did we always have conspiracy theories like before like Reddit and stuff? Like I remember when I was like, I don't know, like 14, 15, I heard that Richard Gere put a gerbil up his butt. Like, isn't it crazy that like got to me in like Virginia? Like it wasn't a newspaper. It wasn't a chat room. Like, how did we hear about that? Or that like, wasn't it Sylvester Stallone had a prostitute poop on a table? Did you guys hear that? Did I dream that?
Recently.
That was me.
I remember hearing this stuff and I was like, oh, were these like the conspiracy theories like back in the day? I don't know. I'm kind of fascinated by that.
Every time I interrupt you, you look so mad, but it's not my fault. My phone has no timing.
I'm not mad at all. That's just my face. That's just my face. Okay, people asking, what kind of phone do you have? Is this a special phone just for this or no?
iPhone 15.
Nice. People are going, let Ahren talk. Okay. You try it.
Yeah, shut up.
Do you have any like catchphrase, like shortcut buttons for things that you end up saying a lot or no? No? Gosh, I don't know how you do this. Oh, thank you. Wait, tell me about your tattoos. He has a dragon. I got a new tattoo and people are asking about your tattoo. You have a dragon on the side and you said your whole leg is tattooed as well?
The one on my arm is a dragon and a wolf, and it means I am not retarded, but I'll still bite your fucking face.
Sick.
On my leg, it's like an ocean and stuff.
Yeah, lift it up. Come on, stop being so lazy. Whoa, sick. Oh, jellyfish. Whoa. That is an octopus. Okay, I'm obsessed with, it's not octopuses, it's octopuses, plural. It's not octopi. I learned this the hard way recently.
I just like warm weather.
Someone said I should marry you. Agree.
You already proposed. Do you remember that?
Oh, to get you citizenship?
Who the is this asshole?
Okay, so what's the deal if you need citizenship? Can I marry you? And then how long do we have to stay married for citizenship to like go through 2 years?
I don't know.
But do we have to take quizzes about each other? I've seen the proposal. Like I have to know everything about you.
I mostly just want your money.
You know what? Fair. Do you believe we landed on the moon?
Have you seen those pictures? Those aren't f***ing real.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to just see both sides here because we also could have gone to the moon and not been able to document it, and then they staged the photos.
It looks like there was a backlight.
I don't know. Don't you think if we went to the moon, every influencer would be up there doing TikTok dances right now?
I mean, it isn't exactly easy.
Look, I don't need your lip, okay? I don't need this shit, okay? Sorry, it may not be easy for Canadians, but for Americans, it is easy, okay? Colonization is our thing. This is where we shine. This is where, okay, this is our thing. It might not be easy for you and your president who spends most of their time putting shoe polish on their face, but this is where we shine, okay? Okay, Canada. Why do we have such little respect for Canada? You guys are like nice and we're just like, bleh, like we got it. Did Canada go to the moon or no? No, you guys didn't even try. Have you guys ever even been in a war?
We burnt down your White House?
When was that? Recently?
Google it.
You Google it. You Google it.
1,800 or something?
I don't trust Google. This is all propaganda. I don't trust anything. Every time I Google Canada, your weird ass racist president comes up that you guys reelected for some reason.
We are pretty good at war.
Canada's good at war. Ahren, I don't know.
For the size, yeah?
Does it add in your phone?
No.
Someone just went, why is this even a discussion? Yes, we fucking landed on the moon.
I don't have white privilege. I'm retarded.
I think you guys should do 2 solo podcasts at the same time.
Obsessed. I'm fine that we landed on the moon. I'm with you. I just every now and then I don't agree. I vacillate. I vacillate. It's very weird. I'm like, we landed on the moon. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, of course we landed on the moon. And I don't know what.
Every time I interrupt you, you're like, I'm going to f***ing shank this guy.
No, I want you to interrupt me. I'm just trying to fill time in between you talking. All the comments are like, let him talk. Okay, it's typity clickety clack. Let's go. Okay, here we go. This guy's really mad at me. They were in World War II and sent soldiers to Iraq and Afghanistan, Canada. There is a man on here, Tough Texan 2, thank you, who is correcting me at every turn here because he believes in history and its facts. I mean, it's kind of wild to me that like, it's just recently that there's any concept of truth. I mean, before, I don't know, I'm making this up, but like, certainly, I'm as right as anyone. We're all guessing. Okay, so I'm on
Are you Joe Rogan?
They call me Ho Rogan, first of all. Second, I am in a post-intelligence society at this point. The more you know, the dumber you are at this point. Okay, you is someone that has memorized a bunch of facts that are going to be debunked in 5 to 10 years. I argue that I'm actually smarter that I never learned them in the first place. Knowing a lot of things that are going to be debunked is not superior to knowing nothing. Okay, I'm on some ignoramus. You're staying woke. I just don't know.
That's why I don't know anything. So I don't do this.
The more you learn, the more more information you're like, if you're accumulating misinformation, that doesn't make you smarter than me because you memorized a bunch of stuff that may or may not be true. Before the 1900s, like news was just gossip.
And everything today is like a filter. So it's like, you just get the bullshit you want to hear from an algorithm. If you want to hear that Kamala Harris is a lizard cloned by Joe Biden, that's what you're going to see.
I'm like staying out of the toxic news because it's just an adrenaline addiction. Can Ahren do a seal impression? That's just rude. No, the singer seal. Can you sing Kiss from a Rose, please?
I have a stand-up joke about seals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long con. I knew I couldn't get on America's Got Talent with just a normal disability, so I tricked everyone into thinking I can't talk.
That is very smart. Do you ever think about who you would have been or what kind of person you would have been in different times? I think I was kind of built for like the 1800s. No, you disagree? I definitely was built for like Appalachia backwoods hollers. That's like, and then now I'm here and everyone's like, you're kind of loud and annoying. I'm like, yeah, because I wasn't meant to be in this time.
I'm pretty sure in every other time I would have been thrown in a river.
You actually probably could have become a king. What do you mean?
Better to be a woman than retarded. They only burn you if you read books.
Ahren, you're a goddamn delight. You're just a delightful, satanic genius. Thank you so much for doing this. You're an angel. Okay, now go walk home.
At least it's downhill.
Thank you, everybody. I love you. Don't ride elephants.